All right, so my boy Ant. What's your IG name?
Trust my lingo.
Trust my lingo. Okay. How long you been whipping, bro?
Since 2017.
So all the new waivers, man. All right. How long you been whipping?
3 months.
Oh, let me get this shot, bro. Antonio stuff super long, man. So we gonna see what Antonio. How many you got on, Antonio?
2.
Just 2? How many brushes you got? Just 1. 2 and 1. All right. Bet. So don't take the things off, man. Let's get to it. Okay. Okay. Now that to put in perspective, let me show you how long it is, man. Blurred. Sheesh. So Antonio been whipping for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this real quick. Let me different time. Look at this. Y'all see this? Man, this is crazy. Look at this. 3 months. Man. I mean, sheesh. Okay, so some things I want you to take note of as you watch the video. He has really coarse hair. He maintains it very well, though. He has a few thin spots and some irritation spots in the back and on the side. I want you guys to watch how I conquer those. Enjoy, and his hair is really long, and trust me, you're gonna want to stick around to see the end of this video. So hope you all enjoy. Remember, watch out for the thin spots, the irritation in the back, and he has coarse hair. So let's watch it. Let's enjoy. Okay, so welcome back. Got another wolf video for you. This time, this is my boy Antonio. It's been 3 months, so let you enjoy this first stroke real quick. He getting 2 with the grain. It's been 3 months. Man, his wolf was epic. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, look at that. It's like amazing. So heck of a fro, but underneath this, the waves are so deep. He's been wolfing for 3 months. If you look at his fro, there's waves inside of his fro. It's just amazing. I'm about to get a better view right now. So yeah, that's sheesh, fantastic. So it is my boy Antonio. He's been whipping for 3 months. He's getting 2 with the grain. I'm gonna let you guys just watch this more. Sheesh. Yeah. So basically he and again he as well has a few thin spots on this edge up that I have to watch for, and behind his ear as well. But after the fade, I promise they're going to blend it so smooth you're not going to even know they were there. Alright, we're going to keep it nice and natural. As you can see, I'm laying the 2 guard on my Andes Supra flat to the scalp. I'm pulling that ear down to stretch the skin so that I can get a nice smooth cut into that transition. As you can see, as I'm cutting, I'm watching to make sure that I don't hit any gaps or any abnormal growth patterns in the hair. But yeah, he's been wolfing, man, and you can tell he really maintains his hair because like I said, his fro even has waves in it, which is epic. So on the do-rag line, which is kind of right below the occipital bone, he's going to have a kind of an irritation, but you can tell he wears his do-rags or his multiple do-rags there, and he always ties in the same spot. So as you can see, I'm going to let that hair hang first so I can come back and cut that because it kind of grows a different way, and I'm going to be very gentle with it. And once I start to do that taper in the back, I'll make all of that blend in. You can see there's a very thick, thin spot right there in that area, but right there you can see that irritation start to come about. And you can see I'm taking my time in that area because I don't want to gap it to where I have to make that taper higher. So we'll come back to that when it's time to get to that back taper. But right now I'm just going to cut all this wolf off, you guys, and just watch. And I'll be back. When I'm cutting on the edge up, you'll see I cut in a different angle because he has a few swirls. What I have to watch for is very important that you cut the way of the swirls, not the way that they brush. I'll repeat, cut the way of the swirls, not the way that they brush. so that way I don't gap them. You can always brush after I comb it a different way, but once I gap it, you can't brush the hair back there. So make sure you always brush in the pattern that the hair grows, okay? He's getting a low ball taper. So I have my Slimline Pros Andes, and I'm stretching the skin, and I'm just making a small faint line at the bottom, at the lower part of the temple. Okay, so that way when I taper up, I don't have to go too high. Like I said, if you can look at my thumb, in the middle of my thumb, it's kind of a thin spot there. So right now, what I'm debulking with the grain, with my one on my Andes seniors. I'm sorry, my wall seniors. Okay. Right now, I'm making my secondary line, but instead of me doing it with my with no guard, I'm using the guard because of the thin spot, and he's getting a low taper. I want to keep that taper low, and I want to blend that thin spot, but I don't want to create an issue for myself to where I have to make that taper high. Okay, so I look at the defects of the hair, or the abnormal growth patterns, or the thin spots, and I find them. I'm debulking right here with the grain. I'm going to debulk with my 1.5 against the grain later on, but right now I want to thin it out to where it's smooth, so I don't have such a hard time when it's time for me to debulk with my bigger guards. Okay. Now I actually have no guard on my wall seniors, and I'm just taking light feathery type strokes to get that taper nice and smooth. I'm stretching the skin so that way I can see my workspace and have a clear workspace. I'm using the corner of my blade. I'm not using so much of the whole blade because I have a narrow window to work with, and also because of the thin spots. I don't want to take a stroke of hair off that I might need later, So I'd rather taper too small than work my way bigger than taper too big and have no hair there. So you guys watch, and I'll be back soon. So when you see me use my Slimline Pros, I'm basically just taking out that line more. I'm going with the grain or against the grain, and just hitting little small spots to make that fade look smoother. All right, so now I have my wall seniors with my 2 guard, and I'm lightly and very smoothly debulking. I want to find the inconsistencies or those thick spots where the hair grow, around the area where the hair grows thin, and kind of want to blend them in. So not only am I debulking, I'm matching the thick patches with the thin area, so that way they're smooth, and the taper is more smooth. It'll give an illusion that his hair isn't thin. It's all about working the hair and finding the inconsistencies in the area that you might have to work out a little bit more. Okay, so after I debulk, I'm getting my 1 on my wall seniors, and I'm just tapering using the corner of the blade, and I'm just finding my spots. I'm staying within my work area. I don't want to take this taper too high. Again, I'll reiterate that. So every few strokes I comb, which stretches the hair, it spreads the hair out, rather than a brush which actually clumps the hair together. Both are good, but I prefer to start my tapers off with the comb, so that way I can gap the hair and give it the smoothest look as possible. Okay, so now I have my Andes Masters, which is my personal favorite clipper when it comes to fading. It has a long comb above the blade, so I don't have to use a guard as much as I would with the Walls, Masters, Seniors, or Magic Clip. Walls, Magic Clip, or Senior. Okay, so now I'm just hitting those small spots. I'm actually blending that fade in, giving a nice smooth transition, which will give it a nice crisp look. I'm using my 1/16, which is a 0 on the Masters, to hit little spots that I didn't get to do with my 1. Like I said, those Masters can go deeper than the Walls can because of that long comb or extended comb. All right, so I'm going to do that, find small spots, stretch the skin as well, so I can stay within my work space. And you guys watching, I'll be back soon. Okay, so now it's time for the back taper. You can see the irritation right there in the middle. If you look to your left, you can see another small light spot. And we're going to work all those out. So he wants a low taper. So what I'm going to do is actually taper it low. I'm going to start with my Slimline Pro to get my ball line. Then I'm going to take my Walls Magic Clip, and I'm going to, my Walls Senior actually, same tool pretty much, and I'm going to make my secondary line. I'm very aware of that irritation spot and that thin spot. So I'm going to actually keep that secondary line below it so I can fade into that irritation spot. So after I get my secondary line in, I'm going to start to fade that space in, okay? So I'm going to rotate my lever, open, close, and stay low. I want the first line to blend into the second line. I don't want to just take it away. Sometimes I see barbers make mistakes by they want to fade the line all the way out. No, I want to fade the line in so it can fade into the taper in the back, okay? So you guys watch that and I'll be back in a little bit. So for debulking, I'm going to actually use my 1.5 on my Walls Seniors. Okay, so I'm going to basically thin out the area around the irritation. I'm going to thin out the area around the thin spots so that way I can make it fit with the rest of the haircut. You see, I'm debulking more towards those bulky spots than I am the thin spots because it's already thin. So after I debulk, work a little magic, and just try to work some art here, make it blend in as much as possible, because after you edge it, it's going to blend in even more. So after I do that, I'm going to, like I said, my masters have a longer comb. So I'm going to actually do most of this fade with the transitions with my my Andes masters because of the length on that comb. So I'm going to start with my 1/16 on my masters, as you can see here, to actually start to get that fade to work very smoothly, to work that fade in, okay? I'm going to hit those thicker spots a little bit more than those spots that are already thin. I'm going to work the whole taper, but certain areas require more attention than others, okay? That's the secret to getting thin spots or to getting areas that may be thinning, balding, or not as bulky as the rest, okay? So I'm going to work those transitions, work those spots, those thin areas, use the corner of my clipper comb, as you can see, and just work it in, all right? So I'm going to let you guys enjoy that. I'll be back in a little bit. At the very end of the taper, my camera died, so you won't see the very end, but just know I'm working the same pattern until I get a nice, consistent, smooth fade. All right? After getting a nice, smooth, consistent fade and blending all those thin spots, I'm going to put a back line on it, a back edge on it. The rule of thumb basically is keep it short and sweet, keep it natural, as much as natural. Find out where that hair grows thickest, and that's where you start your line. Don't take it too far in because you don't want to, just because it's crispy, don't mean it'll grow back right, all right? So now it's time, I want you guys to check that taper out. Came out pretty good, don't you think? And now I'm hitting some small spots. Okay, so now it's time for the edge up, the front edge up. I'm going to apply some elegant shave gel. I'm going to massage it in. Now I'm going to take my flexible razor blade and bend with the curves, with the natural curves of the hair. I like to do this on the left side because it actually gives it a good bend. And it's just a method I've been using since I first started cutting. I stretch the skin and I find that C. I work that C in. I don't want to push it back. I want to keep it natural. And no matter how thin the hair may be, he has a nice thick coarse grade of hair. So I'm going to basically just hit that area up into the taper. The same thing with the front edge up. I'm going to keep it natural, no matter if it's thin spots or not. I find where the hair grows thickest, and I pull the excess off so you can give it a nice, smooth, straight line across. Okay, that's a big rule of thumb. I know it's sometimes so tempting to push your edge up back to make it smooth, but what you really want to do is just keep it as natural as possible, so that way the grow back is just as smooth as the cut itself. I'm using the corner of the blade, as you can see here, just to get those corners. Sometimes it's very tricky to get the corners, especially on wavers, because their hair curls and runs, but if you use the corner of that blade, it'll actually help you give it a nice, smooth, consistent, crisp edge up. Okay, that's pretty much how you do a low taper on 360 waves that's been whooping for 3 months. I'm gonna go back and do some cleaning up, hit certain little small spots, find areas I didn't hit the first time, but that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to go follow my boy Antonio on his IG, alright? The cleanup is always important, never forget that. Please like, subscribe, a lot more videos coming. I actually got another woofer video I'm about to do. Then I cut some locks off you've been having for 9 years. I got some good content coming. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think.